all my viewers. Greetings to the universe and all my viewers. Let's take 30 seconds to soak in God's grace. All praise is due to Almighty God, Anuel. May He protect and guide me as I share with you. Also guide and protect you and your families as we go forth. Thank you, YouTube, for the platform to share my information. Thank you to my watchmen and my watchwomen and all the great YouTubers out there that's giving us information daily. You've inspired me to make my first video. Psalms 91 verse 8. Only through thine eyes, holy eyes, do you behold the reward of the wicked. Only through holy eyes. With holy eyes, we see the wicked forces at work hard every day. Chemtrailing, geoengineering. With holy eyes, I and some see our sky brothers on the horizon as they have returned to bring us back to our God selves, our higher selves, to lift the planet to a new state of awareness, to free us from Shaitan, from Lucifer. We see through the muck of wasted money and dirty skies, the stress on our minds and our bodies and our souls. Quick lesson for those who know and for those who don't know. Nibiru, the planet of the crossings, the planet system that looks like a cross, the planet that goes across galaxies and dimensions, does exist. It is real and it's here. The lake of fire, the bottomless pit, it's on Nibiru. That's why Nibiru is here. It's the cauldron that propels Nibiru with the speed faster than comets throughout our galaxies. Nibiru is a system of 7 containing 5 Elena's and 2 Catalinas as labeled by NASA in the Starry Night program. Nibiru came after the 3rd battle between the fallen ones and Archangel Michael, who is the captain of Nibiru. Nibiru came 600,000 years ago with the Sky Brothers to transport gold back to their home planet and to also terraform the planet Earth as they're terraforming it today to bring it back to its natural elevation of consciousness. Nibiru is the ship that is controlled by Archangel Michael and the other archangels, and their job and their main purpose is to secure mankind. They're back from their universal travels of exterminating the last of the fallen angels out of the universe and destroying all of the creations that he has done pre-Adamite creation. We see all these stories through Hollywood in their sci-fi movies and their sci-fi series, as they have gotten this information from the Gilgamesh, Persian times, the Egyptian times, the Greek times, the Roman times, the Asian times, of times past. Now, pre-600,000 years, Adam, pre-us, the last battle waged, as Lucifer came down to earth with the records of Akasha, the future. He knew what God's plans were, and he started out to work against God's plan. That's where we get Antichrist, because God is Christ. Christ is all, the love, the light. The largest part of time after being blown apart, continued to orbit the sun, as Tiamat and Gea were once the planet mate for the sun. So after being blown up by Lucifer 600,000 years ago, the largest part that was left continued to rotate around the sun. And Archangel MIKIEL and all the archangels, along with the Nibiru system, blue and red Kachina, and the other elements, terraformed the planet, gave it oxygen and trees, made it habitable again, brought species from throughout the universe to procreate and dwell, to make way for the coming of man. Man was made in God's image, and in his image was he made 50,000 years ago. The pre-Adamites were a lower creation. We learn that story from the Sumerian text, from the Bible, where it also states that Lucifer wanted to also create. This is the story of the slaves mining gold. We have to use our common sense and our wisdom to know that beings who traveled interstellarly would not need slaves to get gold from the ground. They could just do it with their minds. Man was created for God's pleasure and not for his own pleasure. So that is why Sabbath is coming. Man was made for the Sabbath, and not the Sabbath being made for man. Nibiru is here now to put Lucifer and the rest of the fallen ones that had been respited until such time in the lake of fire, which is on Nibiru, so that we as humans can live the life that God intended for us to have, free of disease, strife, hate, jealousy, greed, and you know the rest. We see it every day. Now when we look at television, all we see is fires, fights, protests, killing, everything that's just disgusting. When we look outside, the fires and the chemtrails just obfuscate with the lens systems that are up there hiding everything, and the flashlight that shines on us, that was created by the powers that be to hide when the sun is being eclipsed. Those who know the truth. So today I'm going to share some pictures with you. I hope that you get a better understanding of what's happening and why there's geoengineering, why we see chemtrails, and why there's artificial clouds in the sky, why there's always a forest fire somewhere, and why there's always some type of issue going on that needs a protest, or for the nation just to look down and not up. May God be with us as we go forth. Here we have September 4th, 2016. It's a beautiful sunset, Tybee Island, Georgia, after a beautiful day of fishing. As we can see, this is Nibiru as it started to come in, as I took my first photo of it myself. And after that day, I spent 2 years watching many videos that was Nibiru related. I want to thank EXP Italy for subscribing and responding. He's my first Nibiru community subscriber, so thank you, EXP Italy. So this is one of 70 pics out of hundreds of pics that I have, and I'm going to try to go as quickly as possible because there's 70 pics, and I hope you enjoy at least 90% of them. They're all factual, the truth, because the truth will set us all free. Geoengineering was made to hide the fact that we see here. Nibiru is behind the cloud, and it's behind the sun, and it's coming into us. This is 2 years ago. So here we can see classic geoengineering going on at sunset. Here we can clearly see 1, 2, 3 different light sources at 6:58 p.m. going towards the sundown. If you can just pay attention to times, directions, and just pay attention to what's going on, you will see that everything that I'm showing you is the truth and facts. There are 2 pictures or 3 that might be color enhanced. I'll let you know which one those are. Now here we have 8:14 p.m. Sun is setting, and this is out of Ohio, United States. And as we can see, there's a lot of geoengineering going on, which is just to hide everything that's coming in the Nibiru system, our sky brothers. So here we see a much closer picture of it from Mexico. It's the 14th of May, as we can see, 2018, approximately 8:14 p.m. And as we can see, these aren't clouds. These aren't clouds. So we go back to Ohio, and as we can see, it's also 8:14. And what we see here behind the geoengineering is our sun. our yellow sun. And behind the yellow sun is the Nibiru sun, Catalina V 2013. So we're going to go on to the rest of the pics so that you guys get an overview of everything that's going on. I have about 70 pics, and we're going to go through them as quickly as possible. Now we're going to go into the blue Kachina, which is part of the Nibiru system, as I stated. Now we're going to start with the blue Kachina to get things rolling. This is 4:43 a.m. and as we can see, facing the north, this is the north, this is the northeast, and over here is the east. This is the northwest, this the west, and the southwest. Here we have over the city of Seattle, real picture, no color changing. Here we have the blue Kachina that doesn't exist. Bright as day, you can see the baby blue hue. And I'm going to show you where it started coming into the frame. About 15 minutes earlier. Look at the time. It's 4:28 a.m. Seattle, United States. Blue Kachina. Baby blue light. Coming in from the northwest, the west. So now, here we have, later that evening, at 6:28 p.m., we have Nibiru with the blue Kachina and another celestial body. You can see that's baby blue. You can see this is bright white, bright yellow. And here you can see there's another celestial object. 6 p.m. in the evening. So we're going to go back and see at 4:43 a.m. Here we have the blue Kachina with Nibiru behind it, coming in at 4:43 in the morning. Take a close look, and all we see here is a lot of geoengineering, because it's not natural clouds at night. And this bright light coming in here is Nibiru. Now I'll give you, this is one of the augmented pictures out of the 70. I put a little more contrast in it so that you can actually see that these aren't clouds, are cloud shapes. They're orbs. This is Nibiru. This is another orb. Not sure exactly what that is, but I know this is the blue Kachina because I can see it's blue. Now, here is Nibiru also at 7:58 p.m. over Seattle. This is the north. Now, how do we know that that's the north? We know that's the north because I will give you a picture for orientation with the sun coming up, which I don't think I added. Here it is. This is the pic of the sun coming up 5:58 in the morning. As we can see, it's a clear sky. No geoengineering. So this is the northeast and this is the east. The sun is going this way. This is the north, this is the northwest, this is the west, and this is the southwest. How we know that's the southwest? We're going to look here to see at sunset. Where's the southwest? Here at 8:28 p.m. the sun is shining from this way, the southwest. As it's going down the set, we see the reflection on the boats, on the buildings. So that's how we know that that's the southwest, because the sun is going down. Now I know these first couple of pics are mind-blowing, but keep your hat on, because here we have Gulf Shores, Alabama, sent in to this great guy over here, mr.B 33. And here we have again this baby blue hue behind clouds with an object. There's blue Kachina again. This picture was sent in to mr.B 33 after being recorded Sunday, June 3rd, approximately in the evening around 9 o'clock, I believe. But some will say the blue Kachina and Nibiru, it's all a myth. When we look here, this is just a couple of days ago. I believe this is June 17th or 16th. This is Florida Keys. Here we have a light source over the water, which is the crystal ship. We'll get to the crystal ship, the beautiful egg at night that everybody's seen. That's the second moon. Here we have the setting sun, and you can't see it too well, but the blue Kachina is up there in that corner, because you see a reflection here also. And there's another light source over here, and this is the reflection here of the sun. So here you have a light source on the horizon. It's 6:28. This is last week. It's way 2 hours before sundown. And here you have the crystal city, the egg at night, the second moon. It goes between Nibiru, and I'll prove to you this is Nibiru, and the blue Kachina and the red Kachina that doesn't exist. Here we have the crystal city making an exit from Nibiru or the blue Kachina at night. This is the Florida Keys. As you can see, it's 9:59 p.m. Same thing here. This is Nibiru, as we saw in the Seattle picture. And this is the blue Kachina that was on the right side of Nibiru. As we can see, looking at the picture, it's plain to see that there's a white hue here and a baby blue here. Here's the sun shining on the buildings coming up from the east behind on the left side of this picture. There's the sun showing on the buildings coming up from the east. This is the west, as I stated in Seattle. It's the north, northwest, and northeast. There's the baby blue Kachina and Nibiru sitting right in front of it. Now, as we can see, these things are closer to us than the sun, because look at the size of the horizon that it's taken up. It's taken up 3/4 of the view. So here we have the egg. as it just came out, the Crystal City, it just came out of Nibiru, or the Blue Kachina. Here we see the sun is coming up from the east behind the Crystal City. We see the sun shining on the buildings from the east, and we see the reflection on the water here from the Crystal City. The Crystal City is also a ship, just as Nibiru is a ship, and the Blue Kachina and the Red Kachina. And that's the reason that NASA and all the scientists could not put a timing on when it's coming and when it's not coming. Here we have Ohio, USA. And as we can see, look into the southwest, that you'll see, because this is the same area where we looked at 814 along with the Mexico cam, and this was facing the southwest. So here you have the southwest again, and you have that little hue there, and you have the blue hue there. You might not be able to see it as good on this picture, but here we notice there's a shadow, and that shadow is not obfuscating lens as you would see in other videos. This is actually the Crystal City cloaked out, heading to Nibiru. I have all the pics with the step-by-step of it coming in, moving here, moving there, and then going down. But I'm trying to move as fast as possible so as to keep my time down to a limit. Time is precious. It's the only thing that we all need to master in this life. Here's 759, Florida Keys. That's the orientation of where the sun sets. As we saw in the first Florida Keys pic, we saw a light here, which is the Crystal City. The Crystal City is a ship. Here's the sun setting in front of the bridge. Here's Blue Kachina. Okay, let's move along. I'm gonna keep it moving. So as we saw here, here's your Blue Kachina again. This is the second picture that I enhanced the color. I had two pictures that colors were enhanced. This one and the other one that has Nibiru in the middle, the Blue Kachina on the right, and another light source on the left. The three amigos. Now here we go again. Blue Kachina. You see the hue there, it's blue. Nibiru has gone down. Some folks wonder, well, how does this happen? These things move intelligently, more intelligent than you can imagine. And they come up above the elliptical when they need to. They dance with us. Go and check out the Whole Feet Prophecies. And here is your shadow. And I turned up the color on it so you can see the shadow a little bit better. And this is 8:59 a.m. as you can see. And it goes right down into the Blue Kachina in like about 30-35 minutes. The frames come up every 15 minutes. Now here we have a picture courtesy of the FAA camera in Alaska, facing the east at approximately 11:57 before lunch. It's daytime. Monday, June 11, 2018. Now this is pointing east. As we can see on the river, the shadows are coming from this direction of the sun coming down on the trees. It's almost midday, lunchtime. Now here we have this magnificent light of Nibiru that all the non-believers, doubters, and debunkers say don't exist. And to the right of it, here we have the Blue Kachina. Now, how do we know this? This camera is pointing east. Lunchtime, May 11th, in Alaska. So this for orientation is the northeast. And in the northeast, northwest is Nibiru and the Blue Kachina. They go up and they go down below the elliptical as they need to adjust so as not to crash into us and blow the earth up as the myth. Because if you go and look on Wikipedia, that's the definition of Nibiru. Some asinine planet or a huge glob that's just going to crash into us and kill us. So this picture alone is one of the 70 that or 60 that I got left to show you that are mind-blowing, factual, truthful, 100%, cannot be debunked or defunct. Swallow it. It's a hard pill. So here we're going to go right back to the last picture. I'm going to keep it going. I want to go back to where I started in Seattle, in the northeast. Well, yeah, I'm going to do that. Well, before that, I'll go ahead and do that. Time is the issue here. So here we see again. This is 6 p.m. in the afternoon. This is Nibiru, the great white light that we were seeing from Alaska as they were going towards the northeast. Here's another light source. This is the Blue Kachina. So in Florida, we were looking from the east. We were looking towards the west, which is here. That's why we see the gold great white light, which is Nibiru, and then behind it we see the baby Blue Kachina. So they go up and down. You see right there, they're pretty high up above the elliptical. So right here, I'm going to show you the same thing, similar as if you were looking west from Florida or anywhere in the United States. Because this here is pointing to the southwest about here. So this is going to be all west. This is southwest west. This is west southwest. Here we have that great white light that cannot be overstated. And here we have the great blue hue right behind the white light that cannot be overstated. Here we have 6:15 a.m. This is the great bright light that everybody's been complaining about in Atlanta, Georgia, nationwide, all through the United States. It's been coming up early in the morning, as early as 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. Pacific time. Now this is 6:15 a.m. Mountain time, because, well, this is actually Pacific time because this is in New Mexico, Los Alamos. So here, for orientation purposes, we see the shadow of the sun coming up behind us. The sun is shining on these buildings, shine on the top of these trees. And here you're looking west, southwest, because the sun is going to set here, as I'll show you eventually as we keep going. And you have the baby blue hue behind it, which is the Blue Kachina. So for those who say that Nibiru don't exist, there's no way, whether you watch this video or you hear about it, there's no way you can change what's happening. And that includes the debunkers. So here you have all this aren't natural clouds. This is geoengineering. That's what geoengineering was made for, to hide the truth. Like I said, for orientation purposes, so you don't forget, this is the sun rising at 5:58 a.m. Seattle, same place, and it's going towards the east, because as I showed you, the sun sets over here in the west, southwest. Okay, let's move on as to save time. We're gonna go back, and we're gonna go to the Crystal City, which is a ship, as I've been showing you from the last couple of pics. Now here, we're just gonna go from the top down just to save time. Here we see 9 p.m. and that's plasma from everything being out in the southwest in the Gulf. Same plasma we see here from Naples, Florida at 10:58 p.m. There you go. That's the Crystal City having plasma with the water. This happened right before you had all those fish dying out in the Gulf. Here we go at 1:13 a.m. Phoenix, Arizona. Look how beautiful the egg is, the Crystal City. It's bright at night. Having a ball. Here it is in the Gulf also, Perdido Key, Pensacola, Florida, at 2:43 a.m. Look at the shadow it's casting on the water. Some might want to say it's a helicopter, but you'll soon see it's not a helicopter. And there's no need to fear, because if these beings and masters were malevolent, we'd be goners. We got to worry about ourselves more so than them. There it is again, same place in Phoenix. Now I showed you a similar pic to this from Naples, Florida. Here it is again, over land. And you can see that's not the sun, because we see the sun shining on the building from this direction. The sun is setting over here. That's the west. And here the Crystal City is just sitting there. Same Perdido Key. Here's one that's pretty interesting. It's at a museum in, I believe, New Mexico. Here it's coming into view, and you can see there's a couple of orbs around it. And it's the 21st of May 2018 at 2:04 in the morning. Here it is in Las Vegas, flying over a park. It's beautiful and amazing. These are the things that make us feel much more connected with what's going on in the universe, and not in the world or on television. Here we have it over Sky Canyon, Las Vegas. I took this one for my profile pic. It's 8:25 p.m. Sun has just gone down, and look how bright that thing is. It's It's not the moon, and it's not a helicopter. Here it is again over Phoenix. Now here's a pic from the Florida Keys where the sun is setting behind these clouds here. And here you have the red Kachina. As you can see, all of this is red. The red Kachina is currently moving up and down the North Atlantic across to New York and Europe and over to Africa and the Middle East. Here's your red Kachina. You can see it's making purple, red, and orange colors. Here the sun is setting here behind the clouds. And you can see it's 8:14 p.m. Here's the Crystal City materializing just 2 mornings ago in Naples, Florida. Look how bright it is. Look at what it's doing to the clouds. This is natural and not geoengineering. So this picture was courtesy of the Canadian weather cams. This is the Crystal City coming from the east, coming from Nibiru and the red Kachina and heading west. And this is America, and it's stopping right in Vegas. It just happens to be the same night that I captured it from it stopping. You can see this in motion by watching Universal News, one of her pics a couple weeks ago, one of her videos. She had it coming in, traveling, and then it stopped and it lost its tail. So the things I'm able to corroborate, no one else on YouTube has been able to corroborate and show. This is the night that it stopped over Vegas as it was traveling at hyperspeed. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to work on the trolls and the haters and the debunkers and the people who want to say this is all garbage and BS. So this part paid the most attention because I'm going to try to get it as chronological as I can. And basically we're going to start with early in the morning. I'm hoping this is the earliest that I have. 5:30. I want you to work with me. Now up here we can see this is New Mexico. The date is 6/19 and the time is 5:30 a.m. We can see the sun almost coming up on the buildings. So now we're gonna look and catch up with the next pic that's close to 5:30. We're gonna go 6:15 a.m. This is Los Alamos, 6:15 a.m. 45 minutes later, we can see the sun is coming up from behind us. So behind us is the east. This is the west that we're looking. Here we see the great white light, the great blue hue. From Nibiru that I showed you in Seattle, and the blue Kachina in the back. As you can see, it's 2018, June 19th, 6:19, at approximately 0600 hours. There's a little difference in the minutes. It's about 18 minutes ahead, but you got the general idea. Here we see the sun coming up on the trees and behind us. So here we see, this is especially for the haters and the doubters and the debunkers. There's no way you can debunk this. This is not camera fixed. It's not photoshopped. It's not doctored, altered in any kind of way. It's just all straight. So we had 6 o'clock. There we go, 6:30. No, that's PM. You need to stick to the AM. We had 6:30, now we got 6:45 AM. It's going down. Same day, 6:19. At 6:45, it's going down. So, all these pics are from the same day. They're all from 6:19. Now, I managed to skip this one. This was at 5:45. This should have been after the 5:30. Look at Nibiru come up, as I've said. It came up above the elliptical further than it has in the other pics. Same day, earlier time, 6:19, 2018. 5:45 in the morning. Nibiru is up in the west with the blue Kachina behind it. That's at 5:45 a.m. At 6 o'clock, which is 15 minutes later, here we see it's gone down. It's gone down from being this big. So there's no refuting that. You see it side by side. There's no way to doctor this stuff or make it up. Now we're going to go a little bit further on in through the day, and we're going to get to the evening. So now we're going to go to 6:15 p.m. in the afternoon. Same day, nothing's changed. Except the sun has come from behind us in the east and casting shadows now to the east as it's going down in the west, where we saw the great white light and the baby blue hue in the west. So here's the sun going down. Same day, 6:19. Okay. So 6:15 p.m. We're going down into the afternoon. We're gonna go see what other shots we got in the evening. Here we got 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Same day. Same place. Sun is going down. Now at 8 p.m. we see this. It's going down and Nibiru is coming up to get out of the way. So we have the sun going down here and Nibiru behind it at 8 o'clock. Now here we go to, I believe, 8:45 p.m. and the sun is still going down and Nibiru has moved out of the way. 8:45 p.m. 40 minutes later. Now 9 p.m. here it is. 15 minutes later, it's still going down. The sun is gone at 9 p.m. and we still see Nibiru wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and baby blue Kachina right behind it. Same day, 6:19. Oh, this looks kind of like it says 6:18. So it's 6:18. But all these days are the same day. There's no difference in the days, see? 6:18. 2018, 6:18. So at 9 it's still going down. The sun is already set and you still have Nibiru up. Now we're gonna go 9:15 p.m. The proof is in the pudding. No need to doubt or shout. 2018, 6:18. There's Nibiru, the white light, it's gone down, and the baby blue Kachina is behind it. And here we have one of the other ships that move along with the Crystal City. Two ships move along with the Crystal City. So this is now here we have 11:15. Same day. 6:18. Here we have the Crystal City, the egg. It's going that direction. It's going down into Nibiru and the blue Kachina. It's been out there the whole time. This was 9:30, 2 hours prior. This is the first ship that goes down. And there's another ship that sometimes go before it or after it. So this was at 11:15. And we're going to go up. This is 11:30. It's getting low on the horizon. Same day. 11:30 p.m. 15 minutes later. $11:45, still going down. So here we have, for the trolls, debunkers, and doubters, how can you debunk this? It would take two Hollywoods to make up something like this. On the same day, from the morning to the night, 6:18, you saw Nibiru, you saw the blue Kachina, you saw the Crystal City. You got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Holy Trio, all in one, and got debunked at the same time. For all those who say Nibiru don't exist, and it's just a myth. So we've gone through the majority of my pics. This is just the last section, and you know, this is just showing a fire in Colorado, the kind of things that they use to obfuscate the sky, to hide things like this. This is overlooking Atlanta. This is the Pine Star Twins. As you can see, the sun is setting, and you can see there's some geoengineering up here, the sophisticated kind, and this is why there's geoengineering. Here you have the Pine Star Twins heading southeast, and right in front of them into the distance is the Blue Kachina. You can't make this stuff up. It's as good as it gets. I'm really grateful and thankful that I'm able to present this. I don't feel better than anybody else. I've been trying to share my knowledge and my pictures with everyone, but no one seems to pay me any attention. But I'm sure they're paying attention now. This is geoengineering, as we all know, chemtrails that people say don't exist. That's California. This is Nebraska. This is just June 13th. This is last week. Same thing. This is not normal, folks. Not normal at all. Geoengineering. A whole lot of it. Why? To hide things like this that aren't water stains on the camera lens. Because if there were water stains, they wouldn't be doing all of this. The water stain would be on the camera lens and not in the sky. Here are the twins again from Poland. And as you can see, all this is geoengineering. I want to leave you with these last couple of photos. They're from today, June 20th. Here we have 6:45 p.m. This is Atlanta, Georgia, overlooking Atlanta, Georgia, Stone Mountain. Here we see a little geoengineering, and in a little while I'll show you why. This stripe that we see is a shadow casted from the sun to the flashlight that they use to shine on the lenses and the chemical metals they put in the atmosphere. That's at 6:45 p.m. and 6:59 p.m. it's gone because it's out of the camera angle that it was taken at a few minutes ago. Here we see geoengineering as usual. This is from today, June 20th. And I'm going to try to get this video done and publish it by tomorrow, for the 21st. I'm grateful that you guys stuck with me. If you made it this far into the video, I hope that what I showed you was interesting and 100% proof of what people say don't exist. Now here's 7:44 p.m. You can see the sun is setting off here. This is the southwest. We see geoengineering. And as we can see here, there's a round cloud for some reason. But I'm going to make this quick so we can end the video. This round cloud is not a round cloud. Nature doesn't make round clouds. And all this is geoengineering that's attempting to hide this. That's not a round cloud. Again, this is from June 20th, today, at 7:44 p.m. Now what you're gonna see now is a little mind-blowing, but that's what this information is supposed to do to you. Make you happy and glad and a little bit angry or frustrated, but it's okay. God is here, the archangels are here, everything is gonna be fine. It's no problem. So (8:14 p.m.), exactly 30 minutes after the last picture, which is 7:44 p.m. round cloud. Now we're gonna go 30 minutes ahead into the future, same day. Here we have the round cloud is now gone. There's no geoengineering. But yes, there is whole lots of geoengineering. And now we see why. They've been geoengineering the whole afternoon. The round cloud took off. It's the Crystal City. Here we got a chemtrail going straight across it. Unbelievable. You cannot make this stuff up. There's the sun going down. This is 8:14 p.m. 30 minutes after we saw the round cloud that the geoengineering was attempting to hide. Can't hide that. That is not a cloud. So here we see a blowed up version of it after it took off. Interstellar speed. Look, there's a friend below. There's a chemtrail going right under it. So, people, if you had the opportunity to view any of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Record it. Send it to people you love and you know, so that we could all get a better understanding of life and come together and use our positive ways to get ready for our master and our creator who's here. I want to spend some time just saying that I appreciate my spiritual brother, Mr. B. Thanks for always having my back and putting in good criticism and good comeback. I want to thank my celestial family, Archangel Michael, the archangels. I want to thank all my ascended masters and good friends and associates. Thank my earthly family. God bless us and continue to keep us. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope this whole thing has been a blessing. And you now know why geoengineering occurs and why it is happening. May God bless you all and bless us all. Love and peace.